Okay, so now that we have set up, for the most part, we've set up everything here. Let's go ahead and let's set up our block here. Okay, so let's add in a function here. We'll call this spawn block, and in here we'll say block is equal to sk sprite node. Okay, and we'll make the sprite node color and a size, and the color will be orange custom color, and the size will be block size. All right, then we'll say block dot size is equal to block size. That way, if we add our own art later, we don't have to re-enter that in that code. Okay, so let's say block dot position is equal to cg point, and we'll make the cg point equal to, we're going to give it a random x and a random y. So we'll say let random x, make it equal to int arc for random, arc for underscore random uniform, and it's arc for random underscore uniform, and we'll make this between, let's say, 450 and 350. Okay, so that's the random x, and that's across, and we could probably make it the same for random y. Now what we'll do is we'll polish this later here. So we'll say for the x cg point, we'll say random x, and this one will be random y. All right, and then we're going to say block dot name is equal to block name. All right, and then we need to go to self dot add child, and we're going to go to block. Perfect. Okay, so that's going to add in our block here. Let's add in our 2 or 3 labels in this case. We'll say function spawn lbl main, and we'll make that equal to, we'll go to lbl main is equal to sk label node, and we'll give it a font name, and we'll say Futura, and we'll go to lbl main dot font size. All right, and we'll make that equal to, we could probably make it equal to 80 or maybe even 70. Let's go to lbl main dot font color is equal to font color. I'll make that equal to off black color. All right, and then we're going to go to lbl main dot text is equal to, we'll say collect blocks. All right, and maybe I added an exclamation point. And then lastly, we need to go to self.addChild, and we'll say lbl main. So we need to actually spawn it to the screen. All right, so now that we have all of that here, so we'll go to function, and then we'll copy that function twice, but in this time we'll go to spawn lbl score. And then instead of lbl main, we're going to go to lbl score. Now, for the most part, we'll copy and paste this into each one of these blocks here. Now, the score, okay, the score here, we'll say is maybe 40. It'll still be off black color. And, oh, the one thing we did not do is give this a position here. So let's go to lbl main dot position is equal to cg point, and we'll say this is cg rect get mid x self dot frame, and that'll put it in the middle, and then we're going to go to cg rect get mid y self dot frame, and then we're going to add in 250 to that. Okay, we'll do the same thing for the lbl score, and I'll just kind of copy and paste that here. Make sure we have lbl score, and we'll subtract this time 350, so that will put it near the bottom. And we got the lbl score dot text here. We got the lbl score dot text, and what we'll do is we'll say this is score. Perfect. And that pretty much works out the way we wanted to. This one will be spawn LBL timer, and this works out really well, except for we'll make this 130, and we will subtract 250 from the point, and we need to go to LBL score. Let's copy and paste all this here, and instead of collect blocks, we'll just put 5 to start off with. Okay, so I think that's looking pretty good. Now we need to go up to our override function did move to view. We're going to go to spawn LBL main, spawn LBL score, and spawn LBL timer. All right, let's run that and let's see if it all works before we move on here. And yeah, we can see that looks pretty good. Collect blocks is a bit too big, so I thought it would be too big. So let's make it 60, and then there we go. We'll just take a look at that, and before we move on here, and look at that. That looks pretty good. All right. This includes a tutorial.